I didn't wear braids in the White House.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Esther and welcome to my channel. We talk about real issues impacting real women while also learning how to grow our natural hair. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about former First Lady Michelle Obama. So former First Lady Michelle Obama has been getting dressed regarding some of the comments she has been making while promoting her new book, The Fashion. And some of the things that she has been saying on her book tour is that she couldn't wear braids while she was in a warehouse.
You say in the book, I kept my hair straight throughout the White House years, so it would not be a distraction or a talking point. I knew there was absolutely no way that the first Black First Lady could show up in braids. Was that a hard choice for you?
You know, it wasn't hard because the job was more important than the statement.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that my work spoke before my clothes or my, the way I showed up in the world, although I knew that the clothes sent a message.
Yes.
I think it was important that at some point as a public figure, I wore my hair natural and in braids because I do believe strongly that all women, we should have the choice about how we wear our hair, what we look like, and it should not be subject to commentary, particularly by men who know nothing about what goes on. And how Black women in particular wear their hair is their business.
Yes.
It is not a statement of some kind of lack of professionalism.
No.
We all come to this world in a different way. And so supporting the young women who have really pushed for that natural hair movement, the Crown Act, which had to be passed to say that how a woman wears their hair cannot be used to discriminate against them. There's just a lot of education that needed to happen, and I didn't really have the time to be the lead on that education during the 8 years. We needed to get healthcare passed. I wanted to focus the attention on our military families, on getting our kids healthy.
Yes.
And so it didn't feel like a personal sacrifice because I understood the assignment. But now that I'm out, part of that freedom that you talked about of being 60 is that I can wear my hair.
You get to be yourself.
Absolutely.
I find it crazy that the first Black First Lady of America couldn't wear her natural hair or couldn't wear braids while she was in the White House because she felt like if she wore her natural hair or if she wore braids while in the White House, the media, the American media would have been more focused on what she was doing with her natural hair instead of her husband's presidency and what her husband was trying to accomplish and what she herself was trying to accomplish regarding policies that would affect millions of people. She felt like she had to make the conscious decision of wearing her hair straight because she didn't want her hair to become a distraction. She didn't want her hair to become a topic of conversation because you guys know Black women, our hair is almost always a topic of discussion by our own people, by people outside of our race. So she had to decide between making a fashion statement by wearing her natural hair or being more focused on the policies that she and her husband were trying to pass. And I feel like as the first Black First Lady of America, if she would have worn her hair in its natural state or in braids, it would have been iconic. It would have been a fashion statement. But she said she didn't want her time in the White House to be focused more on her hair. She wanted it to be focused on the policies that her husband was trying to pass, the things that she herself was trying to accomplish while she was in the White House. And also another thing, while she and her husband was in the White House, she wasn't only serving Black people. Even though her skin color is Black, she wasn't only serving Black people. She was the first lady not only to Black people but also to white people, to Hispanic people, and to Asian people, and to biracial people. So maybe she felt like her appearance, the way she dressed, the way she kept her hair, the way she wore her hair, the style she did with her hair had to appeal to everyone, not only to Black people but to white people, to Hispanic people, to Asian people. So she probably felt like wearing her natural hair straight was the safest choice for her. So yeah, I can understand her when she said that, because as you know, Black women hair has been a topic of conversation for a long time, and Black women have been discriminated against for our natural hair. We couldn't even wear our natural hair in the corporate world until the Crown Act was passed, because your employers could discriminate against you based on your hair texture. Even though some people say that she's being whiny and that she's making this about race and that she's being racist, even though she had a privilege of being in the White House and a lot of people voted for she and her husband, we still have to consider that the things that she is saying has a valid point, because not everybody loves natural hair. Not everybody loves braids. And another thing that I've come to notice is that people in the upper echelon, like the 1%, the upper class people, they rarely wear any braids or wear their hair curly, because I don't know if they feel like wearing their hair in that state making it look too ethnic or making it look too hood. This is one of the things that I've noticed. Even though I'm not around people of the upper class, I'm not around rich people, I do see this a lot in TV shows, in movies. When they show pictures or movies or TV shows of rich black people, you rarely see them have any curly hair or coily hair or wearing their hair in your afro state or wearing their hair in braids. You rarely see that. All the shows that I've seen that have rich black people in it, all I will see is them wearing wigs, weaves, and having their hair straightened. So maybe she felt like in order to fit in that class, in that rich class, in that upper echelon, she had to keep her hair straight. Perhaps she didn't want people making comments about her hair, like her fellow upper class people. She didn't want them making comments about her hair. So she probably felt like wearing her hair straightening was the safest bet. So on her part, I can understand that, but I feel like as the first lady, there's a lot of things that she could have done. For example, the braids that she wore when she and her husband's portrait was being unrevealed in the White House. That braided hairstyle was pretty elegant on her. The way she wore it, she like wore it in a bun. She could have done, she could have done braids like that and worn hairstyles like that. But I can understand that she probably felt like she couldn't. And that is also a mentality thing. Since we black women, our hair has been discriminated against in the past. Some of us are mentally affected by that. Even nowadays, a lot of black women do not wear the natural hair in its natural state. They prefer to wear wigs, weaves, or have their hair straightened. So as black women, we need to work through our mental state when it comes to our natural hair, when it comes to wearing our natural hair, because there's a lot of natural hair hate out there. And as a first lady, I feel like if she would have worn her natural hair, it would have made a lot of positive impact within the natural hair community. But she said her purpose of being in the White House wasn't to make a statement regarding her appearance. It was mostly focused on the policy that she and her husband were trying to pass. This is not the first time that she has talked about not being able to wear her natural hair while in the White House. She also mentioned this in previous interviews that she did in 2022. So let's go ahead and watch that and then we'll come back.
Wearing braids was a thing for people.
I didn't wear braids in the White House.
After,
but
no?
even now,
you returned, right? Now who cares?
Yeah, now.
But why did you not?
Well, because it was one of those things. Like I remember the second term when I cut bangs. That was every story. I couldn't even, I'm talking about nutrition and the article leads with "but her bangs."
Yeah.
So you realize, all right, it's a trade-off.
Distraction.
Do I want, while I understand it, do I want that distraction? And when do I want the distraction? It's a strategic move. And, and also to be honest, it's like we were the first. And I was like, first of all, they got to get used to us.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I can show up with some braids and now that's all we're talking about. I mean, that's when we did a fist bump with each other, they turned that into a terrorist act, right? It's just like,
insane.
Who needs the hassle? Let me just straighten my hair and get health care.
Did you resent that at all? Or was there any resentment in that?
Was your hair damaged?
No, because I wore weaves, extensions. I had protective styles because you get your hair done every day.
Right.
And sometimes twice a day if you're out jumping jacks in the rain. The things that I did, it's like, nope, put some extensions in, or I did all kinds of things. I just kept it. Whatever I mimicked what my hair was, right? But there was no way. I would not have any hair on my head if I straightened it as much as I had to straighten it. So I did a little bit of everything. Put a ponytail if I was, but it was all a part of the conversation. I can't say that I resented it. I didn't resent it, but I used it. I understood what I was doing with it.
So yeah, guys, as she said, she and her family were the first black family in the White House. Her husband was the first black president. She was the first black first lady of America. So she felt like people had to get used to them. She didn't want to be too different from the previous first ladies. So she probably like felt like she didn't want to bring too much black culture in the White House because she didn't want to be criticized for that. She didn't want to wear braids. And then the media focusing on her wearing braids instead of what her husband was trying to accomplish or what she was trying to accomplish. And another comment that she made in the video that I just played was that when she did her hairstyle with the bangs, that hairstyle became the focus of people's attention. People were talking about it. So that incident probably had her resolve for her to continue to wear her hair straight because she didn't want people to be making comments if she switched up her hairstyle. So maybe that incident probably played a major role in her continuing to wear her hair straight instead of wearing her hair in its natural state or wearing braids while she and her family were in the White House. After she and her family got out of the White House, that is when we started seeing them wearing braids and wearing different hairstyles. If you guys feel differently, leave your thoughts in the comment section. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye.